So this is Baruch at the Tikkun Elevator Kollel, and we're going to be going into another session. This tremendous book, I think, it just so into me. I'm so into the language of Rav SCHICK. This is sefer called APAYIM, which means patience. APAYIM means also long nostrils, which is if you know somebody was really angry, their nostrils start to flare out. And this is keeping the nostrils straight and long, meaning patience. All kinds of difficult situations. Now today, let me see if I can find it, how easy this is to find this. I did not mark it. Okay, it's over here. Getting closer. No, not yet. Now this is an old print, this is an old book. Here's an idea that we need to talk about. It's a very serious thing. Young couples have a hard time making a living, being observant, living in a world which is full of all kinds of dinim and problems. It also affects this concept which is called SHALOM BAYIT. Now, we have to listen, I'm going to take this in more than one shiur, but we'll try to see what Rav SCHICK wants to say as the solution to tremendous problems that people have. He said in SHALOM BAYIT, yesh b'nei adam, she'over aleichem ma she'over, they get into troubles. V'yesh sheyesh b'chem yisurim gedolim min hashaseichem, some people have tremendous fights with their wives. B'kama refanim, and the fights take many different shapes. Mach v'zecha v'hem rots in the garshim, and because of the fights going on, they want to get rid of their wives. Only thing is, al pi rov efshar lechem lechotzia machshavda mekoach lepol mamash, but for most people, to actually do this and to divorce their wives, very few people do it. He said, ki ha'isha eina rotzis, she doesn't want a divorce. Oh, shemizbayish mecha'olim, or he's going to be embarrassed. He doesn't mention that the effect that it has on the children. Oh, mitzad aviv shema'ankim alav, or his father, it would be terrible for his father. V'shvecha v'zecha b'gormin la'atzmam yisorim kashim amarim ma'od ma'od, and so therefore they call tremendous pains for themselves, which are very bitter. The fights continue. But Talmud Haim Malayim Katatas are full of different kinds of strife or different arguments, maribos and more fights, because and anger and makovim and pain. Advice this hapach the Gehenna, the whole house that they live in is turned into a hell. Mamish. They curse each other. Rahman al-Islam. Soakim, Babochim, Vazorkim, Hefetzim, so they say they cry out. They scream at each other, they cry, they throw things at each other, one towards the next, and after that they run away from the house. They got to get out of there. If they run away, they start wandering around, and they really get banged around, and they have to bear tremendous pain being away from their homes. Yisurim atzumim b'shvil because of this. Because a person is now ran away from his house. Al pi rov heim alayim hirukurim roll, and they have all different kinds of thoughts. Umachshavos magunos, and different kinds of, very low thoughts they get into. Magunos. And sometimes because of these hirhurim that they have and this really disgusting thinking that they start getting into a very, very low, let's say, face it, he's talking about getting involved with other women. So the parents can come through that into pains, tremendous pains. Averos, he said, sinning, tremendous sins. V'chamuros ad ma'od Rahman al-Islam, until it gets really, really serious. Rahman al-Islam, God should help us. Ki mistovavim b'mekomos metunafim, so they start wandering around places which are metunaf, which are dirty, meaning that they have bad elements in them. Go to a bar. And specifically this problem when you have children at home. It's a double, triple, quadruple. You can't really look at them. Holchim shavurim, and the children, they're going, everybody is broken and muvalim and confused. Even the little child in your family who watches what's going on, Mevinim, they understand, they call everything. And they become tremendously in pain, watching this, that they're always talking in language of arguing with one another. So when the father runs away, he runs out of the house. He can't stand being there anymore. So he goes on the road or he goes somewhere else. So when he runs away, it leaves a terrible impression among them. Through all of their life. They grow up really abandoned. So children like this who are abandoned and they go through this tremendous strife in their early lives. They go out to do all kinds of bad things. They steal, they rob, they get into tricks, they get involved with women they shouldn't. And they spend all the day working, and they're out there hustling, doing stuff. SHALOM BAYIT, and all of this comes because of this fight, so the corruption that happens in the house. Because originally it usually talks about some little bit of nonsense, and something that's really insignificant. But you see that the tension is there to begin with, then the sparks start. So you have to ask them also, what is the Eitzah, what is the answer? How do you get out of a life that's continuously bitter? Like when you come home, you never know what you're going to get, and you so just stay away. Let's say he gets rid of his wives because it was just a tremendous pain for me. He couldn't stand it anymore. Maybe his second life will be more disgusting, more difficult, more gurua, lower, gurua, and more bad. Yosef Rishon from the first from Yosef and his farm will become shaken more and more. Kasher roim al pi rov, where you see in the majority of cases. So by the second wife, the person's going to have to be like a donkey to the yoke. But his Chazal, the Chazal already has warned us. Chazal the Kadoshim Shidduch the Garish each the Rishona, don't send away your first wife. Kamosh Amru, Kalav a Garish each the Rishona. So anybody who sends away and divorces his first wife, Avila Mizbeach, Afilo Mizbeach, even the altar, the holy temple, Morid Allah Zamals will bring down tears. The only way a person can really find Koras Ruach means that settled, in other words, that he really be comfortable in life, is from his first wife. So what's the alternative? To spend his whole life in arguments, brivos, and different fights, because they're always angry, they're hurting each other. And constantly sink his mind into and really get involved in thinking about every time, all the times about all the things about his wife that he does in life. Different pains that he has to bear from her. And he's always trying to think of different tools, different kind of weapons that he could use to get him to save himself in that. But the truth is, the only Eitzah, Rak Levakesh Memeni Yisbarach Barachabel V'Tachnun, to come to Hashem who is in the midst of all of this, and to ask him and speak before him, to seek from him, Barachman, with mercy, V'Tachnunim, and with supplications, talk to him. V'Amar Chazal, so the rabbi said, B'Ritzos Hashem Darkei Ish, with the exception of Hashem, that the ways of a person, Gam Oivev Yashnim Oso. So he said, B'Ritzos Hashem Darkei Ish, the way of a man, Gam Oivev Yashnim Oso. Now I don't really understand how to translate that. All of his, I guess I could have looked it up in Mishlei. I should have done that. But I didn't. Ish Gam Oivev Yashnim Oso. Ovod Zu Ishto, when it talks about the tzara, who is the really animated person? It's his wife. Could be the other way around. The woman see it the same way. Ein Sham. So the aspect is that you're always in an opposite contending position between you and your wife. That's actually, you see in other places. Our captain brings a nice drawing on this. It's just that men and women are embeddedly attracted to each other because of the things that they lack. But that means that on the other side of that coin is that you're looking about somebody who doesn't have your good qualities. They have somebody else some other qualities. Maybe you don't like them. But on the other hand, there's a match between you. That tension is always between male and female. This is what Aryeh Kaplan says over there. So the truth is that Chazal say like this. Call raw velo isha raw, any raw but not a bad woman. For Amr, this is Gemara in Yavama Safdach Samach Gimel Amid Beis. Isha raw tzaraz lebaila, so bad. A woman who's bad is like a leprosy for her husband. Mate kante yigarshena v'yisra b'chemitzarasa b'chemitzarasa v'yisra b'chemitzarasa. So what should he do? Divorce her and he'll be healed from his leprosy. The Gemara says over there, says so a lot of times you can't get rid of her. There's a different reason. But prati is kishiyesh k'varbanim. Az rachmana gedolach aleichem. So then there's a tremendous rachman on them. Sheholkim that they wander around v'chem shavurim, and they're always broken because they take it so seriously what's going on in that marriage. V'rotzutzim. They're all broken. They're like not alive. They're just hanging around. So then how long a person will suffer until he finds another woman. Maybe that it will be, the second situation. I know a lot of people who had to get divorced, they couldn't get along. They had different reasons. And they went to the second marriage, at least as far as the men is concerned, and it was a rebound marriage. It wasn't good. And they got married a third time. I know a lot of people like this. Marriage is hard. And what it does to the children, I really don't know. So he said, and he won't really regret that he's alive. So that's the first part of what Rav Schick writes here. We'll see a little bit more in the next year.